the thing.
Live. We're now
So
live. We're doing the
now
thing.
live.
All right.
So welcome everyone. 3, I believe.
Volume 3, volume whatever, man. We're going to be here for a minute, so
I think it's volume 3.
it works.
That's okay. That's good. Have kind of a lot to cover today.
Mm.
Do it. But I think you had brought up wanted to talk about our Arizona up here.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just wanted to. I mean, I don't really have too much to say other than like I think it's important to talk about. Yeah, one of the representatives from Arizona, our state, which both of us live in, yeah, isn't getting sworn in. Now, granted, she is neither of our direct representative, right? You know, she's not the representative for my district. She's not the representative for. I'm pretty sure she's one of the districts that's way down south. Actually, I think it might be on the border. Actually, it's whatever district Tucson is in. I do know that that's part of it. And yeah, she has not been sworn in yet. That's not good. She won her election like at least 2 weeks ago. At
I
this
feel
point,
like
she's
by a
not been
pretty
sworn
wide
in.
margin. Let's find out here. So I have the AP poll. A week after her decisive win in Arizona special election, Adelita Grijalva arrived at the U.S. Capitol where her father had served for decades. But as she roamed the familiar halls, she said she could not help but feel. With the House out of session, her swearing in has been delayed. That left her without an office, a desk, a staff, something of an unofficial. Very frustrating, she told the AP after a late evening meeting of House Democrats. She said it's unfair to the residents she will be serving in Arizona's 7th district. No one voting for them. No constituent services. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like one of the most important things about noting that we celebrate about the beginning, the creation of this nation is literally the concept of no taxation without representation. So like by that stretch of the matter, should like everybody in that district stop paying taxes? Like, can they? Like, I mean, legally, no. Legally, they're not allowed to stop paying taxes. Ha, that'd be great. But
Well,
like,
I mean,
seriously, they're not being represented. This is
legally, are they? They're not doing shit. I mean, the house has been closed for. They haven't been doing anything, and
mhm,
mind you, they're all still getting paid. So while these wanks have like made the decision to shut the whole, they're still getting paid. Like
mhm.
Congress
Well,
and the
even
Senate,
then, like whatever paycheck they end up getting is like nothing, right? I mean, like
oh yeah,
it's really the
that's not where
lobbyists and all sorts of
their real
special
money
interests
comes
where their
from. Yeah,
real money comes
yeah,
from.
yeah, yeah.
But it's a slap in the face to all of the other federal
It's
workers that
fucking
do have
insulting.
their pay shut down.
Well, and then besides, I was getting pissed about this the other day. I was writing, but how many fucking pay increases has Congress had since
Hmm.
the minimum wage? Like,
That's actually a good question. I don't think I've ever looked that up. Hold on, I'm gonna take a
you
peek.
might want to because it's at least 5.
I would not be surprised. I mean, like again,
Yeah,
like it's. I think it'd be great if like
they're
all of the congressmen had to like get minimum wage for their job and they weren't allowed to get any
had to
more. Because
live on
I'm
the
pretty sure that would
worst.
fix some shit pretty quickly.
If they had to live on minimum wage and if they had to live on the worst health care that anyone in their community had, like,
Hmm.
yeah, I think they might care a little bit. Pop up,
Right.
grab a lighter real quick.
Okay. Of course. Go ahead. All right.
Only
I'm
the
taking
one
a
fucking
look
thing I
through here to
forgot to grab.
see.
I'll be right
Yeah.
back. Oh, I gotta pull up.
Oh boy. So members of Congress last received a pay adjustment in January 2009. At that time, their salary was increased by 2.8% to $174,000. This is
Yeah,
according to Congress.gov. $174,000
man,
fucking dollars.
that's what I'm
That
fucking
is
saying. And
that
then,
is 7 times the amount of money that I have ever made in a single year. And like now, granted, I'm an independent author, right? So I'm not exactly rolling in the cash over here.
but that
But
no, that's
seriously,
yeah. And federal minimum wage is still 7.25, isn't it?
$7.25 an hour. How much? I believe so. Hold on, let me just
Oh,
jump to
yeah.
federal
So yeah.
minimum.
So while you've got federal minimum wage at 7.25, you've got
Yep,
yeah 7.20. Marvelous.
exactly.
And they can't
And this
even
is
be
this is nuts.
fucking. They can't even be fucking bothered to actually like swear in a new member, right? Which
Yeah,
directly
no kidding.
affects. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
wild.
and you have to ask why. Why is this new member not being
Why?
sworn in? I know. I mean, like, Is it perhaps because she would be the 218th and final necessary signature to force the release of many of the Epstein files, if not all? Maybe that has something to do with it. I mean,
I was reading,
Speaker Johnson he is adamant that that's not the case, but
like, what else?
that's just weird. Yeah, what else? That's a
Like,
good question. What
why
else?
would
I
they
mean,
not take
is
any
it
other?
because she's not white? That would be a really weird reason not to swear somebody in. Like, I mean, granted, wouldn't put it past the Republican Party because, like, there's a lot of racists there. There's a lot of racists in America in general. But, like, I mean, no matter how you slice it, it doesn't look good. Are they not doing it because she's a woman? That's not good. Are they not doing it because of her politics? That's not good.
I
There is
mean,
literally no good reason
the
not to
party
swear
in
this woman in.
control, the party in control proposition.
Well,
That I'm sure they all
exactly, and
have
that's
around it.
also not a good
But
thing.
no,
There,
fucking no, it's a power grab, and it's like, again, they're still getting paid. They're not fucking doing their jobs. Like, if you really just boil it down, they're not taking votes. They're not writing any fucking legislation. Not releasing those fucking Epstein files. They're not doing shit,
yeah,
and they're still taking money. They're still getting paid while, and that's the other slap in the face. The entire rest of the federal apparatus is not. Like,
yeah.
they're not working. Get the fuck back to work with your $100 and something $1,000 salary.
Mhm.
Fuck off with
Yeah,
that.
I mean, our flight traffic controllers are still out there doing
Yeah,
their jobs,
not getting paid.
but not getting the pay that they need to. And that's a notably fucking stressful job. You have lives on the line
Dude.
literally every moment of the time that you're on clock.
Yeah. No, I mean, not the kind of people. And that
No
was,
kidding,
I
right?
mean, I was talking to these folks yesterday, and they're saying that I don't know how the fuck we got here because, like, they're like, we're not sure we're gonna be able to get home because of
Hmm.
the air traffic controllers might go on strike. Like,
Yeah, which
that's
is,
not the kind of
I guess,
person you don't.
illegal for some stupid fucking reason.
Yeah, because the whole, think
Well,
about
we
like
all know why.
well, because they don't want the entire economy shutting down. Think about it. Like, the how much relies now in the modern age on us flying. If the air traffic
Quite a
controllers
lot.
just stopped, I mean, same with trains. That's why, like, when the train dudes were striking, Biden stepped in where it was like, no, 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 you gotta fix this. Like, he kind of stomped on the train workers union to get them
Yeah, he
back to
did.
work because it would completely fuck the entire economy.
Mhm. Yeah, like, but that's the thing though. Like, if your entire economy is going to be fucked by this type of thing, and these workers who are propping it up are
Don't
being
you think you should
exploited
probably
consistently, well,
pay
then,
them
like,
right?
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, I'm not trying to say that you're against this type of thing here per se, but just like the fact that it's illegal is
It's
not
kind
good.
it kind of make yeah. You're
Yeah,
it
it's
means you
weird.
know. It means you
Yeah,
know
right.
that you gotta keep the wheels turning.
Exactly, dude. And so, like, and that's just doing that, making that kind of striking illegal, making all not swearing in the representative here. That's all of it is kind of just an exemplification of the same fucking disease, which is just the need to exert power and stuff. Because these people are not interested in fighting for anything other than themselves, right? What can they use to benefit themselves going forward, right? That's why I mean, that's why they're all fucking under the Trump banner, right? That's why the Republican Party has just been hijacked by Trump because that seemed like the most
That
politically
seemed like
savvy
it
thing
seemed
that they
like the
could
bet.
do.
Yeah, like he has had such a
Exactly.
like a cult of personality thing going on that side of the whole thing. Then I feel like a lot of them are resentful of it. I mean, like, a lot of them even said so during the first term. Like, they didn't like this dude. Like, they still don't like this dude. Wank.
Yeah, they protest voted
Yeah.
essentially because they didn't like Hillary Clinton more, which like I can at least on a surface level understand that. Like looking directly between the two, I'm sorry, like Donald Trump did more harm to this country than I think Hillary Clinton ever could have done. But I at least understand why they chose to go that way. Now, granted, when like back in the 2016 election, I missed my opportunity to vote. Right, I was not very politically engaged by that point in time. I didn't really know, right? And so when I finally realized, like, oh wow, this Donald Trump guy is probably no good for this country. We should try and avoid that. I had already missed the chance to register to vote. I didn't even know you had to register to
Yeah.
vote. I thought that it was
That
just like
whole.
you could just walk into the polling place, give them your ID, and be like, "Cool, I'm going to cast my vote now."
You'd think
And
that
that is not at all.
in a democracy that participate, that's how it would operate, right?
Usually, yeah.
You'd think that like you'd automatically be registered because like they know you're an adult. They know you're an adult enough to tax the fuck out of you. So you'd
Oh,
think that
certainly,
they know you're an adult enough to give you the option to vote if you'd like. But no, I guess that's not how it
precisely,
works. You got to tell them beforehand that you want to tell them your opinion. You have to.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, so like, but my grander point here is that I understand the idea of voting against something instead of voting for something because that is precisely what I've done in the general election both times I've had that chance so far in my life, right? In
Yeah,
2020 and in
I've
2024.
only
I
voted
did not
for
vote
something
for
in
Joe Biden.
primaries twice in a row.
Exactly.
That's
I
it. The
voted
only
for
time
Bernie
I've
Sanders
voted.
in the
Yeah, I
primary.
voted for Bernie Sanders in primaries
Yeah.
twice in a row. I've never. It's always been, yeah, opposing. It's been the lesser of two evils vote. Otherwise, that I feel like this entire thing can be. That is like when I got like radicalized. Oh shit! Hold on, my computer's about to die. Ah, I'll be back.
Oh no, radicalization. All right, well, while he's gone, I guess I'm going to go ahead and take this chance to introduce myself. I'm Damian Foreman. I've written books such as this one right here. This is The Circus in American Fantasy. I also have a book of short stories called Portraits in Bloodline. Excuse me, God, I can't even pronounce my own books right. Portraits in Bloodlines. That's 23 short stories, mostly in the horror genre. I've also written a play called 666, or a play about stones and how to carry them. It's an absurdist comedy in 6 tragic scenes. Lastly, I also wrote Resilience, which is a book about Kurt Walters, an artist from Sedona. My grandfather hired me to write that book. However, he's won a whole bunch of different
Nice.
awards and shit, so he hired me to write his book. So anyway, oh hey, he's back. All right, I was just filling the dead air with a shameless plug about myself. I
Oh,
I
nice.
fucking hate plugging myself, by the way. I just kind of want to curl up and die every time I do.
It's
So
hard, dude. It's hard to. That's like when my mushroom thing when I was doing that. Like with every fucking business thing I've tried, like bragging about yourself, like
it's
confidently without.
tough.
It's hard. It's hard to talk. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it
it's
just kind of
difficult.
feels slimy when you have to talk about yourself. Like that's one thing, one reason why I really don't think I would ever be a good politician if I tried is because like I cannot suck my own dick that well. It's just I don't know. I really don't like talking about myself. I like to feel that my artwork is indicative of itself. It insists upon
I
itself,
don't think. I
right?
don't think. I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to jerk yourself off. Successful politician. Like, and I mean, I think that like, and so this
Well, I
is.
mean, in the modern day and age, depending on what kind of politician you are, yes. Like, okay,
Do you
AOC, for instance, I
you have
don't
the
feel like
chat
she
pulled up?
jerks
Can you
herself
see the
off.
chat?
Let me pull it open here.
It's
Boink, yeah.
it's making me seeing watching it over bugging me. No, I
You
mean
mean
I don't
wait? You mean the chat on Twitch or the chat
on
through
Twitch.
Discord here? On Twitch, yes, I have it pulled
Okay,
up over here. Nobody has said anything.
I know. I just like don't want it stressing me out because I get like weird about seeing when people are seeing us.
No,
Bye, baby.
no, that's good, man. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm keeping an eye on it over here. I take a glance over every couple of minutes.
No, I think it's. I think that if you just, I wish more politicians would be like, look, dude, this is what we are doing. Like here's my idea. This is how I want to fucking execute it. Um, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to shamelessly plug yourself. I think a lot of them do that because the only people they care about in that instance is themselves. But like
Yeah, yeah.
it's the
Like,
whole
okay, one
team.
good
It's the whole
example against
everybody
that
working
is.
together that's
Oh, sorry,
supposed
go
to
ahead.
be does it. Everybody doing it that gets it done.
Yeah, right. That's how things should be. It should be from the ground up, right? It should be. Yeah, that's one of the most important ways that we are going to be able to get through all of this shit that's happening right now, right? Like America has been extremely divided in our community, right? Like not very many of us talk to each other like ever anymore,
No,
right? There's
it's
very little discourse and stuff on the communal level. Like, do you know your neighbors? Do you
well,
talk to your
it's
neighbors?
dude, it's fucking hard. Okay, so like this is so like in the modern day, like most of my actually getting to talk to people that I don't already know is a like if I still went to the bar, I would be going to the bar to talk to strangers. And that's it's weird because it's such a dicey thing to even talk about current events
Hmm.
because because we are so polarized. And especially like I we live in I mean you live in metropolitan Phoenix. I live in like rural Arizona. So like no, I mean not super rural, like I'm not out in the boonies, but like
You're quasi-rural. I mean,
quasi-rural,
you're in small-town
and then
Arizona
there's
is
like
what you live in.
sprinkle in like tourist Sedona. So like there's global influence 30 minutes away. There's like global
Right.
just right over the hill. But like it it's a dangerous proposition to even mention my opinion. You know what I mean? Because if I'm not careful about how I deliver that information, that's gonna end up in like an altercation. And like I kind of relish that sort of thing. But like sometimes I like to get spicy with people. But I mean, so obviously, I mean, it dissuades people from wanting to talk about it because it's so hard. Like, and then this, I mean, this is what, and I want to say this with serious. There's a difference between public societal backlash to what you've said to something and the controlling of one's speech. Okay. So, like cancel culture, like, yo, I think it's fucked up that you said this awful thing about somebody. We're not going to indulge in you anymore. Those are both instances of free speech. Like somebody saying something shitty, like saying some racist garbage, and then a bunch of people being like, we don't like you and we're not going to support you anymore. Both of those things are free speech. Full
Exactly.
stop.
Right. I mean,
Like,
that's
you have the right to say
there's
it. We have the right to hate you. Yeah.
exactly right. You are free to say whatever you want. You are not free from the consequences of it.
Right. Now,
That's
the actual crutch, and this is, I want to make this very clear because this is why this moment is like, can't. Okay. When the actual government flexes its muscles to cancel you, that is an imposition on one's free speech.
precisely.
That is the control. That is actually what they were bitching about for
Yes. Yeah.
years.
Okay. So, like, one of the most important things. This leads to a very important thing. I think more people need to understand. The rights that are outlined in the Constitution are not the things that you're allowed to do. That's not what rights are. The rights in the Constitution are there to prevent the government from stopping you to do things. They are explicit outlines that say, hey, the government cannot do this. It is not a restriction on the people. As a matter of fact, it is specific. Like, okay, the Ninth Amendment is my second favorite amendment, honestly, because it's the amendment that guarantees that there are more freedoms to the people and more freedoms to the state than what are outlined inside the Constitution. That implies that we are more free than what the government allows. So that's an important thing to note. Rights are not what you're allowed to do. Rights are what the government are not allowed to do to you.
Okay,
So
so this is a perfect segue into we're talking about rights and authorities. Scariest thing that I think has happened all week. So we are going to be talking about plenary authority here.
plenary authority,
I
oh
have
boy.
pulled up.
My favorite.
You've
I'm
seen the
joking.
YouTube video. I'm going to go ahead and play it on the stream here, just if anyone hasn't seen it. It is. It's 11 minutes. It's just.
Stephen?
Get roughly to the point where it is.
The administration filed an appeal this morning with the Ninth Circuit. I would note the administration won an identical case in the Ninth Circuit just a few months ago with respect to the federalizing of the California National Guard. Under Title 10 of the U.S. Code, the president has plenary authority. Stephen? Stephen? Hey, Stephen, can you hear me?
Stephen, can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Stephen?
Stephen, I apologize. It seems like we're having a technical.
Okay, so this.
Steve, you there, Steve?
So some
Yeah.
background here. So this whole plenary authority thing. He was talking about these lawsuits. I think it was either Chicago or Portland. Them talking about deploying military or the National Guard or something to one of these states.
Mhm.
And did he win that? Did they? With Stephen Miller, I can never fucking tell what is just complete bullshit because he's just straight up just been like, yeah, no, we won that case when they didn't. Like, so I don't even know.
The vast majority of cases have been lost for the Trump administration. Like it's close to
until
9
I guess
in
to the
10.
Supreme Court, and then it's just a fucking alley oop, like almost way too like shockingly often.
Mhm.
But okay, so anyway, so plenary authority. I didn't really realize how scary this was until I looked this up because I thought that was honestly like a fuck up. I thought he spoke and then just had a brain fart. But
Mhm.
A plenary power or plenary authority is a complete and absolute power to take action on a particular issue, with no limitations. It is derived from the Latin plenus, full. So, in the United States, if anybody hasn't really paid attention or knew about why we started this whole thing, is that no one should have plenary power or plenary authority. Like,
Yes, please do note that all men are created equal.
fucking taxes dick, dude.
Yeah,
Like
taxes
the
dick.
taxes
Yeah,
dick, bro. Yeah, so like, no, the entire thing was fuck the king. Like, I'm not paying taxes on your shitty tea, your fucking weird British thing with all of your, whatever orthodoxy with the church. Fuck you. Like, I want to be weird and I want to grow tobacco over here in wherever the fuck I am here without being stepped on by the British power. Okay, like,
granted, slavery was also a big thing, but yeah, we'll go ahead and just slip
we're
that in
gonna
there.
look
Just
over
so
the vast hypocrisy and disgusting history of slavery for just a second, just to explain what the ideal was, like what that they were obviously not living up to. But the idea was no one should have that much full amount of power. That is why it is set up with all of these different tensions. Like the idea was understanding human psychology. Everyone wants plenary power. Everyone is going to instinctually look out for themselves. So what you have to do is you have to set up these different governing bodies that are all at odds with and supposed to be overseeing one another. Like the idea is that it's a bunch of different pillars on the same table.
Checks and balances.
Yes, checks and fucking balances. The judiciary, which is judges, Senate and the House, which is Congress, and then the presidents, are all supposed to work in tandem and agree with each other what needs to happen and how we move. Obviously, like, there are some instances where we need to move fast. So, historically, presidents have been given, like, okay, like executive orders are supposed to be doing that. And then, what you then do is the other two branches, after it's been enacted, argue about whether it's legal. Okay? But the executive order says, get it done right now, and then we'll argue about it later. Fine, because you don't always have time to argue about it in a committee. But there still needs to be making sure that it's legal. And this is scary because when you have the fucking just look, he looks like a fucking rubber ball that somebody drew a nose on. Like, fucking hate Stephen Miller.
I sent you that. I sent you that little thing earlier with a picture of Stephen Miller and then the rectal polyp next to him. They were startlingly similar.
Yeah, eerily close. But anyway, this is insane. To suggest that one man, Donald Trump, can just say, nope, put troops there. There are, just in one city alone, you've got city government, you've got county government, you've got state government, and then the federal fucking law. So, about one man having plenary power saying, put troops there, that violates 4 different jurisdictions worth of laws.
Yeah, it does. It does.
They don't have
not to mention another.
That's the point.
Precisely, and not to mention, we have to consider also here what precisely would have the plenary power. Should it have? It does not. Let's be very specific about it. There is no plenary power in the United States. But let's just go ahead and assume for the right now that we're just going to adopt it. Let's pretend that's the case. Who has it? It's the office of the presidency that has plenary power, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump occupies the office of the presidency.
Yeah.
But that's going to get changed out. That's the thing.
They're making this grand bet.
Is anybody okay? You're making this grand bet. No, I'm making a grand bet that he will try.
They are making this grand bet that it won't. This is why you're seeing, because this is like, I don't know. In a lot of ways, there is a lot of like political like crazy shit that, and I haven't been paying attention forever, but this all seems like they're making crazy ass moves that would be political suicide otherwise. This whole I'm gonna no president has ever bragged about raising taxes on people. That is to me, that is the wildest shit I have ever fucking heard. Like, tariffs are taxes.
Yeah.
Tariffs are taxes. Yeah. And they're actually, wasn't it the tea taxes that we got pissed off? Isn't that kind of a tariff?
The Boston Tea Party was
Yeah,
kind of an
import
important part of
taxes.
American history.
Weird. We hate those historically.
Again,
Like,
no taxation without
and no, yeah,
representation.
yeah. Well, it's dumb. Anyway, he that should be political suicide. Cutting healthcare should be fucking. That would ruin you. Like, and I think that, like, again, I think the internet's kind of at fault here because there's such a just a not at fault, but I think it's with the power of the internet that this kind of thing can happen because the attention is so it's just pulled so thin. No one is looking at the same place. Like, no one is paying attention to the same shared reality anymore at all, and it's freaky because, like,
Yeah, I can't remember who I heard say it first, but we are living in a post-truth reality,
yeah,
and to a degree, I understand what that means, right? I think that we are right now. I don't think that doesn't mean we can't fix it,
how
but yes,
AI
as of right
is,
now,
dude.
AI was
It's
one of the things I wanted to
it's
discuss today.
it's
So
so close. Okay, well then, I mean, I don't want to stop talking about this cunt because that is scary.
it is.
Because we're right on the, and they keep like saying, oh, okay, well, the court, they're like, just keep pushing and pushing on the other branches of government. Like,
Mhm.
you watched Elon do it fucking right out the gate. Like, immediately, hey, let's just
Yeah,
defy
let's change all the
congressional
government.
authority. Like, historically, that is what the House of Representatives should do, is allocate where the money goes. They do the budget, right?
Hmm.
This is where the money goes. This is why the House of Representatives isn't doing shit right now, because they shut the government down. And this, yeah, get into that. But by firing and ending all of these cuts, by making all of these cuts to these different parts of government that Congress already said the money was going to, that is like a violation of constitutional law, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, no,
So
the power of the purse resides with Congress.
it
Period.
says that
Full
pretty
stop.
clearly in there.
Yeah,
So
because I mean, the Constitution is really clear about this. The president is Congress's bitch boy. That's really what's supposed to happen. Congress passes the law. The president enacts them.
and yeah, and
That's
then he
I mean,
has the
yes.
power to
Does he
veto
have to
too,
sign
right?
off on them?
Yeah.
Well, yes, he has the power to veto these things, but Congress can still override that with 2/3. As long as 2/3 of Congress says it's law, the president can't fucking do anything about it. He has to enforce the law, legally speaking. Now, granted, like, let's say, for instance, in some fantasy land, we're going to go ahead and pass universal health care tomorrow. There's not a single atom in my body that is going to pretend to think that Donald Trump will actually try to enforce that and
Oh
make it
God,
happen, right? He will
no, he
probably work
won't.
against it.
Yeah,
So,
he's like, everyone
this is
get their
Donald Trump we're
free,
talking about. He
get their
is
free
acting
aspirin.
like a dictator.
Yeah, no,
He's
yeah, oh yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy what's
it is
happening
crazy.
here. But I do think that with a sustained fight, and there has been sustained pushback. That's one of the important things that's different between 1930s Germany and 2020s America. There really wasn't very much pushback, if any, in Germany. There was some, don't get me wrong, but there was not, like, massive, record-breaking protests, right?
I think that is, as much as it is a hindrance too, I guess it's a two-edged sword. This goes back to the internet again. Like, those that want to pay attention to the same thing, they can find anybody anywhere that also wants to pay attention to that. Like, so
But the numbers have been growing in person. That's the important thing.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, I am excited for the 18th, and I do want to figure out in the next 2 weeks. Are you going to Phoenix?
I'm
Are you gonna?
debating. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to go over to Phoenix or if I'm going to come join my local one here, because there's supposed to be a local one here in Buckeye, but like the local ones have like always been like 4 fucking people, and like sure it's important to help in the local area, and that's a lot of what needs to happen. So I don't know. I'm debating because I also want to go to fucking downtown Phoenix.
Dude,
so
it
I
was
can meet
so
more people
fucking.
across
It
the
was
valley.
so
And like,
live, dude. It felt so cool. It was so
yeah,
nice.
when we got together, those
it was
ones,
so. I mean,
the
I
big
was.
ones. Yeah,
fucked
fucking
off,
Hands Off
but
was
it
great.
so
The first
cool.
No Kings was so
Yeah,
good.
it was good.
I loved them. They were
The
so
Hands Off one was pretty good
happy
too.
and jovial.
Yeah, fucking about. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that one.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was thinking about going to Flag.
Going to Flagstaff?
I was
Okay,
thinking
dude,
about
do
going
it,
to
man.
Flag. Yeah.
Meet
Anyway,
people, get
I
some
would
phone
like to
numbers.
figure out how to do some like live coverage or something of that because I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, just fuck around with live streaming on your phone. Like, go just take a walk and live stream a walk.
Maybe I'll just try and maybe I'll just upload video. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to
Yeah,
do
you
that.
definitely don't have to.
I'm gonna keep my. I'm
Fucking
gonna have my camera,
pull a channel 5.
my still camera, and then I'm gonna have my little. That's what it looks like. Again. My little
Yeah, right. Yeah,
my phone
that's
camera.
maybe don't bring one of those to a
Yeah,
protest.
no,
That's
no,
not the greatest idea.
not a great idea. Where the
Yeah.
fuck were we? Were we talking about? Oh, anyway. So the internet also has enabled that, though. That's the other thing. Like
Yeah, the internet is a tool, right? And
Yes,
just like any tool,
yes.
it's just like a hammer. A hammer can build a house just like it can kill a man. It entirely depends on who is holding it and what their purpose is, right?
Okay.
Even taking it over to like a gun. A gun is a tool. Now, granted, a gun has precisely one use: to kill things. That is what guns do.
You can also
Who
kill
has it in
things
their
to
hand
feed
and why they're
yourself.
wielding it is very important to know, right?
Yeah, like that was also
exactly.
a thing that we did for survival for a long time. So it's like, yeah, it's a shovel.
Precisely.
It's a tool. Yes. I agree. I guess what I'm saying is it goes both ways. Like people are super,
It does.
distracted because of it, but it also allows those that are focused reach out and find others that are focused about the same thing. So yeah.
It can definitely help with solidarity and stuff.
Okay, so moving on. I want to talk to. This wasn't on my original agenda, but let's talk about. Did we talk about the TikTok sale?
Actually, I don't really know very much about the TikTok sale. I don't really keep my eye on TikTok, but from what I understand, does the U.S. government technically own part of TikTok now? Like, isn't that socialism?
CNBC. Well, we own.
Or communism?
What was it?
Nationalism? What the fuck is that? I can't remember. Shit, I have to.
I think part of Nvidia too.
Nvidia too?
You didn't hear about this? Okay. Yeah. There's so much shit. There's so much shit going on. It's impossible to hear about all of it.
Yeah, you can't. There's billions of people on this planet.
Just more and more and more shit. Even just from this cunt. Even just this fucking guy just produces so much mental detritus to pay attention to on the reg.
Yeah, Donald Trump on record lied at least 15,000 times during his first 4 years in office. At least, provably 14 to 15,000 times on record. How many lies have this man said in private?
Okay, so this is what's crazy is like thinking about how much extra like RAM I had personally, how much extra storage I had in my brain during Biden's 4 years and before Trump, like, because it's just like horror show after fucking constitutional shittery after like nuclear threat of annihilation from North Korea to fucking drones flying like what the dude, like all the fucking time with this guy. All the fucking time with this guy. It's one thing after fucking another.
He's fucking nuts. I mean, because I was thinking about this, dude. Seriously, it's been about a third of my life has been dedicated to dealing with Donald Trump.
It's
to having to listen to about this shit every fucking day. I know, and just like, I was like, okay, so like, I have to say though, like again, I am still fairly hopeful for where things can go. I mean, first of all, we're not the ones throwing the first punch. If you throw the first punch, you're almost always the bad guy, right? And, we can go deeper into that conversation a little bit later if you'd like to. But specifically, because of all the bad shit...
second.
Well, that's the thing, like...
I wish that they had just fucking thrown this guy in the fucking clink and be done with it. Like, this is the evidence of him fucking everything up. Here's literally economic data that says he fucked everything up. Here's a fucking global disease that he fumbled so hardcore that it fucked everything up. Told you to fucking shoot up with bleach. No. Just the answer is no. Like, the adults in the room said no. He is a fucking criminal. We're going to try his ass, and he's going to prison. Like, great. If he still wants to run from president from prison, do it. I think prisoners should have more rights, even. That's the argument I would have made there. Fuck yeah. Let him run from prison. Let's see what happens. He's just got to stay in there.
I would agree on the whole prisoners do need more rights, type of thing.
A criminal, you know what I mean? Like, fuck it. Run. Go for it. Whatever marketing you can do from inside there, I implore you to run for council. Go nuts.
Yeah, right. Might be hard to run a rally, when you're in a different state, but fuck it. They'll put you on the Jumbotron. It'll be great. Yeah, I'm just... Wrong.
I'm told that this facility in New Jersey has the best gruel. So delicious. Again, we've got some great people. The best taco bowls are made here at the New York State Penitentiary. Yes. Okay.
Big prisoners, great prisoners, come up to me with tears in their eyes.
They told me this place was a mess. Shankings every day, daily. The West
But then
Wing
they
was a
kicked out the
war
immigrants.
zone.
It's only
And then,
white
yeah,
people in this
and
prison
then
now.
we,
It's only white people in the prison.
we
It's
said,
better. It's better than anything. All the immigrants are out. They were
oh
eating
my
the
god.
cats and the
Oh
dogs,
my god. Okay.
and now it's only us. So we're good. Oh my god, I fucking.
Yeah, see,
Donald
at
Trump is
least
such a clown. Anyway,
it's funny. Okay.
I don't know, man. I want to.
I don't want to talk about
I
that.
want to. Okay, I got to briefly mention last week, and maybe even the week before, that I've been having some great conversations with a friend of mine. Again, I'm not going to bring out his name just because I don't want to drag his
Yeah,
name
don't
through,
dox him.
all that. I don't want to dox this guy. But I've had some very interesting guy. This guy lives in a very conservative part of the nation, and boy, oh boy, he has been giving me some interesting feedback about not only like his own personal understanding in like everything that's going on around him, but like what seems to be happening over there as well. So it's weird because he called up. He called me. This in conversations that we've had, he has admitted that if guns were going to be taken away from people, it's probably the Republicans that are going to do it. That's
I mean, what's going to
curious.
happen as soon as, like, I don't want to say as soon as because that's opening the door for, you know what I mean? If it gets to the point, and remember, this is the most armed nation. This is the most armed nation. There are more guns than there are people.
We're strapped to the teeth out here.
We have more guns than we have teeth. The fucking. But anyway,
it's probably like a 7-to-1 ratio here too. Like,
pretty close.
Come on.
Out here, Camp Verde. No contest. No contest.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, fucking like I mean, our national anthem starts with Mountain Dew and guns. Come on, like.
Anyway, if it gets to the point where there are troops being fired on, what's going to happen? And they already kind of started it with the whole "let's take guns away from trans people" thing. Like, they're
to the point that the NRA had to come out and say gun rights are important. Like that.
Rare NRA win on that one,
dude.
Rare,
straight up,
nice.
You take the wins that you can take.
That's the point, though. Is it's rights. It's not for me and not for thee. It is a right, right? And I feel like there needs to be some rules on that, right? But that's the point. Anyway, what'll happen is they'll do the exact same thing. They're going to say, they've done it with the terrorism thing. This is how the United States has done this forever. You're from a South American country. There's a right to believe that you're a terrorist. Oh, you have a gun. Look at that, you're a terrorist. They're like using it to complete itself, and then they take your gun, and then you get deported or thrown somewhere else, right? Even if it's just your parents. Like, that's where this is headed. The Supreme Court has cleared us. What is this ruling? I want to, because people won't even believe me when I say this, so I'm going to look this up. Supreme Court ruled that racial profiling is cool.
I've heard something about that.
You did
not have a chance to look too deeply into it because there's a whole bunch of things. But yeah, I'm sure. I mean, they're looking. Clarence Thomas came on record saying that like there is, God, what was it? Precedent is not something. I'm paraphrasing here. I'm not exactly quoting him, but essentially, precedent is not something that has to be taken into account going forward. Like, they're totally cool just upending precedent.
They don't give a shit. Yeah, they don't fucking care what the court has said before. They're like, you guys forget. Well, the Supreme Court has said it. We can. Of
course they don't. I'm just pointing out that they're going more mask off here.
Oh yeah, they don't fucking. They don't give a shit anymore. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Right? Political suicide, because they don't think there's going to be any. Right? Like, what did we teach them last time? That's what I'm saying.
Think that's going to be the case.
A stronger second punch. What did Trump learn last time? He's like, well, if I just keep fucking going as fast as I can, fucking everything up, like, what are they going to do? Not arrest me? Like, I'll get a mugshot and then my fucking poll numbers will skyrocket. It was almost like we rewarded them for this bullshit because then they just went harder and did it again. Like, the first coup is not, like, the first overthrow attempt.
People didn't feel like they had been punched in the face yet.
It's the trial run. Like, there's someone that studies the overthrow of different governments, and they said an unsuccessful coup is just a trial run for the successful one. Like, it's not going to stop.
That's why there was a beer hall push before Hitler came to power. Yes.
Right.
Almost all of these dictators have something that happened beforehand, and then there was some legal affair that happened that wasn't cracked down strong enough,
and then they come right
allows them to come back even stronger. Exactly.
Like a
But there are,
medicine-resistant
again,
infection, they are. Fucking fascists.
resistant,
Ugh.
yes. But, like, again, I have to go back to this buddy that I have. I almost said his name. I definitely don't want to do that.
Do not
I
do
have to go
that.
back to this buddy. Because, like, again, he called me up to talk about guns being banned by Republicans, more than likely. He sought me out. He knows that I am an agnostic atheist. He knows that I'm very, very firm in my views on those things. He called me to talk about how the separation between church and state needs to be established much more firmly. The wall between the two has been eroded and needs to be strengthened. State stays here, religion stays here. They should not mix. This man, who is a dyed-in-the-wool Christian, called me to talk about how they need to be separated, how they're too intermingled these days.
They are. I mean, like...
Well, I agree. And that's the thing. Like, I really do think that sentiment is starting to change. And because the thing is a lot of these people are probably not going to talk about it openly at first. A lot of these people, like, when they're going to feel ashamed that they've been duped, right? They're probably not going to want to talk about it. They're probably going to be really quiet until they start learning things, right? You know, I think that a lot of them are probably going to get really scared because they're going to realize that shit's been like this. A lot of people are. I mean, fucking farmers are pissed the fuck off about the Argentina thing, right?
I mean,
Trump bailing out Argentina, $20 billion fucking dollars, and then just to kick them in the nuts even harder, the fucking Chinese come over and then purchase billions of dollars worth of soybeans from them, leaving all like 1/4 of the soybeans in this country just to rot in the field.
Art of the deal, bro. Art of the deal. You know what we should do?
Yeah.
We should start a tofu company and buy all those fucking soybeans on the cheap, and then you can make so much shit out of soy. There's an opportunity here.
The second most useful fucking plant on the planet behind hemp, as far as I'm concerned, right?
Chat, if anybody wants to fucking get in on the ground floor of use all this fucking soy ink, let me know.
Yeah.
Like
that'd be great. Let's just
use it. Well, they're gonna have to. It's gonna be a fucking fire sale of like B-string soy here in seconds. Any day now. Like, the price of soy is going to collapse, and that's going to make it even worse.
Okay, the thing is nobody is going to come in to save these people unless their communities do, right? Because the thing is, like, the people up top want these farms to collapse. Why do they want these farms to collapse?
So they can buy them.
That a larger corporation
so
can
they
come
can
in
monopolize.
And buy them.
Yeah, that is the most.
Exactly.
That's even the most fucked up thing.
Here's how they're going to do it. They're going to do it quietly. They're going to do it to where you can barely even notice. Because the thing is the Johnson farm down the way, that's still going to be the Johnson farm, just owned by Monsanto now. A Johnson farm, a Monsanto company. That's how it's going to be. It's going to be...
J.D. Vance has a connection. Although, okay, the truth behind accusations that Vance owns companies... Acre Trader that helps investors outside the United States.
Yes, I've heard about Acre Trader, yes.
So MSN or Times Now or Farmland Grab?
Whichever one sounds like it's going to kick us in the nuts least.
Let's do NPR.
Hey. Yeah, we're filthy fucking libs. Jesus Christ.
Well, this makes me wonder, like, but no other newspapers are going to fucking talk about this. This is so annoying that we have a news bias. This is like during the 2016 election, it kind of is when I realized that like humans are like this as far as news and politics goes. So like I put on my podcast in the kitchen because I was like, fuck you. Like, I'm the sous chef, eat my dick. We're listening to what I want to. They're like, ugh. And then the dishwasher is like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are you listening to? I was like, it's NPR. And he's like, ew, are you a Democrat? And I was like,
no.
What do you mean? Like, and he's like, well, I don't listen to this shit because I'm a Republican. And I was like, it's the news? You know what I mean? I was not very civically engaged at all. I had pussy on the mind for the better part of my 20s. So, like, I didn't really realize any of this.
Because most men do.
Nobody told me about any of this. Like, my kids already know more about politics at their ages than I did 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, dude, so much of the nation was tricked into believing that their vote doesn't matter and that, like, they should just check out of politics.
Yeah, dude, like, I feel like that we've forgotten how to participate in the society. Like, what was it? It was fucking Red Dead Redemption. It was the Irish dude. He's like, my dad said that no politics was politics. Like, they don't want they don't want you to play because they want to win. Like, if everybody voted, do you really think that Mike fucking Johnson would be the leader of the House? That guy's such a dweeb. Like, I'm not a bully, but I want to bully him because he's a jackass. Me and my son track each other's porn habits. Fucking wank. Ew.
What?
Ew.
Ugh.
Gross. I
Like, okay,
know.
this kind of harkens back to something that the conversation that we had actually months and months ago. Fucking, a claim that I had made that I got pushback from both you and our cousin. Fucking, that everything is political. Everything is political. Not that, I mean, we try to necessarily, not that I think that, like a rock sitting in the field is political, but it is. Because that rock is owned by somebody, right? And, in
Well,
that
that statement
conversation,
makes
right?
that political because I don't think rocks can be owned. It's a fucking. I don't think anything can really be owned.
Exactly. Somebody
So
thinks that they own it, though, right?
I think
That makes it political.
I think my
Okay, so
stance.
specifically the argument that I gotta get this out. I have to
Get it
mention
out.
this
Get it
because
out.
this
Get it
is
out. Do it.
important to me. Okay, right. He showed me like a picture of a dish, just like not just the dish, but like the food that on the plate. Like what he's going to serve
Oh yeah, I
somebody in his
remember this.
restaurant,
Yeah.
right? He's like, how is this political? I couldn't answer at the time because I just hadn't quite thought it through far enough, but I can give you the answer now. He was using that dish to try and change my mind about something. He was literally being.
He was literally
political
debating
in that
you.
instance.
He was engaging
Yeah,
in a debate.
and not to
with
mention.
it. That's pretty
Exactly.
meta.
Not to mention, you also have to think about all of the food that's sitting right there. How did you get that food there? All of that food got there because of the trade, because of the policies that we have. Literally, the construction of that plate is entirely political because that's what was allowed. The cost of those things is political. How you get it to the table is political. How much the waiter and how much the chef is paid is political. Everything is political. Not because I want it to be, but because somebody wants it to be.
People fucking hate you for pointing that out. Because people fucking hate me for never shutting up about like news and shady shit going on because nobody is fucking paying attention. You know what I mean? I am constantly screaming up this burning tree and nobody's whatever, fuck that guy, you're an asshole. But then I hear people bitch about like, oh my god, gas is so expensive. Oh my god, what the fuck is with the price of eggs? Oh my god, like why is this going on? Oh my god, I have to pay these fines. Oh my god, like you know what I mean? Like this happened, that happened, and I'm like, bro,
all politics.
You can vote on that, right? You know what I mean? Like, say something to, dude, engage, bro. Nobody wants, to, and oh my god, like, dude, and they have it. They did it, like, especially with like, and this is the insidious part. If you're poor, you don't pay attention to it because it's so hard to just fucking live. That the idea of taking off a weekday, work day, and going to go vote it's unthinkable.
Yeah, maybe. It's unconscionable to some people, right? And it's just like, how the fuck could you even say that? Like, I mean, like, in my opinion, with the way things are going, especially with, AI is not going to go in there. We need a conversation on it. Very good, I will. Like, I don't think that just about anybody really needs to work very much anymore. The only reason we need to work is because other people want to make money off of us. The more we work, oh my goodness, fucking look at my brother scratching his ass. What a guy. Anyway, I got derailed. Fucking my brother sucks ass. Anyway, I don't really think that anybody needs to really work that very much anymore. People will want to work, but I don't think anybody should be obligated to work more than, like, say, 24 hours in a week. That's a lot of time to devote to things, right? And that's the thing. Just because I don't think people should have to work that much, but people obviously will work more. Like, people, I believe, have a natural drive to do something, right? Some people, their natural drive is to just sit at home and fucking do as little as possible. I'm like, all right, whatever the fuck, that's fine. As long as they're pitching in their bare minimum, I don't give a fuck if they're out and off to the side doing whatever the hell they need to go do. But the fact is, most people aren't going to do that. Most people are probably going to get up and continue to help in some way, shape, or form. Most work that happens anyway is unpaid work, like parenting. Parenting is unpaid work. I mean, like, sure, you get, like, tax breaks or whatever the fuck, but that is to offset the cost of having a child. It is a job that you pay to do. So most work in this country is done for free. Most work that actually needs to get done in this country is done for free. Like, okay, Darby, now that you're back, raising children is work that needs to get done that is not done for free. With the exception of, like, there are, like, child care, there's daycare and stuff like that.
I go into fucking debt to do it. Nothing about that shit's free.
But you are not compensated.
I pay to do it. Yeah.
Exactly.
But, I mean, it's like,
right?
It was a personal choice. It was
exactly. And so the thing is like, required work, I think, is beyond ridiculous. the amount of work that we're required. Like that 40 hours a week is the norm these days. 40 hours a week was established to be the norm way the fuck back when, like during the living wage, the beginning, the FDR era, trying to implement minimum wage, right? Sure, that's around when the 40-hour work week came about. That was before, that was during rapid industrialization, rapid growth in technology, and we are decades past that. We are getting close to a century past that point in time when the 40-hour work week was seen as necessary, as was seen as a necessary thing, as a cutback. We are way beyond that. I think that we're closer to about 24 hours a week is what we should realistically require people to contribute to society. The rest of it, they're going to find other ways to contribute on their own, because that's what people do. We naturally do that.
I'm wondering how hard it would be to, like, I'm concerned that we're gonna have to do a crazy, like, just like decentralization. Like, can you imagine if, not just ignoring like the government even, but like society just like totally just completely takes a shit. So like oil subsidies end, right? So the price of gas gets weirdly prohibitively expensive. You have AI data centers sucking up all of the energy. Okay, so even electricity gets prohibitively expensive, and you can't really like ship stuff. Like air traffic controllers aren't working because they're not getting paid. So the federally infused apparatus that controls the plane networks is now fuck-a-doodle. Like, and how many people are going to keep? And there's no fucking jobs. That's the other thing. These giant AI data centers have taken all of the thought work out of our economy. Like, what does that? We're all just jerking each other off, serving each other burgers all day. Is that like so?
We have to drastically reevaluate the social contract at that point. We have to.
I think we have to start fucking teaching people how to farm at the most efficient way possible. I mean.
So, what do you mean? Just like individual people growing their own food and stuff? Like, I mean, of course, that's going to be a good thing. That's
co-ops and like societies that don't rely on a greater, larger society. Like more little pods, more little like the way that our federal government is supposed to kind of work. Well, you guys kind of exist over there, but there's this network of all of us talking to each other and kind of working together. Instead of so much of this is pulling so many different strings that it doesn't work without this, and then it all like. The independence of the individual states is kind of so weird because of international, like interstate commerce, right? Which is fine, but the other thing too is if we're going to be like radicals and go on strike, we need to.
Well, I don't think that's very radical, but
I mean, it.
I think that's pretty common shit sense.
It would maybe get us branded. It would get us branded enemies of the state. We're talking about it. That's, I think, in this day and age.
True, it is anti-capitalist.
It's because that makes you a fucking anti-capitalist being a terrorist thing. Was that a thing that was said? I feel like in my scroll I read that as one of the.
I believe I also saw that, but like again, a lot of times, dude, like I have to see something multiple times before I take it. Like okay, maybe this is an actual fucking thing. Definitely not. That's not always the case because a lot of shit does just get buried. But there is so many times where you just see something come up and then it's a fucking nothing burger, or it's just the same thing that we already knew that's been repackaged in a slightly different phrase.
Look at this picture of JD. Oh, you can't. Look at this picture.
I can see the one. I feel like he's Trump and
he's working on his neck. His neck
pouch.
Yeah, he's trying to Trump himself. He's working on his float. Anyway, okay, so reel it. So we were talking about JD Vance's attachments to agriculture. Okay.
We are so fucking off topic.
I know. I don't even remember what the fuck we were talking. We get stoned and we just like rant about it. Elon Musk and influential venture capitalists are leading the charge.
That's half the fun of being in political ennui.
Elon Musk and influential venture capitalists are leading the charge to support Trump and Vance. Tech billionaires are already giving millions. Wait! No! Isn't it?
Well, don't yell at me.
I'm not. I'm yelling. Sorry, I guess I'm pretty loud.
No, I'm kidding. You're fine.
I am pretty loud. I'm just. Okay, Acre Trader. Do you know what Acre Trader does? He's under scrutiny for his alleged financial ties to Acre Trader, a farmland investment platform. Controversy has reignited amid growing concerns over foreign ownership in U.S. agricultural land. Okay, so
I've heard about it, but I'm not an Acre Trader myself, but yes, I've heard about it.
the idea that we are going to not allow our agriculture to be sold directly to China, tariff the fuck out of it. We are then going to bolster the agricultural industry to the tune of $20 billion. Is that
I
Venezuelan
believe it was
farmers?
20 billion. Let me just double check and see how much it was. It's
Yep.
here.
Will you fact check it?
Trump
Okay.
payments.
So just follow me on this while you're doing that. 20 billion to Venezuelan farmers. China then goes in and buys a bunch of shit from Venezuela while our agriculture collapses. Okay. The idea then that these fucks, whether it be American fucks or otherwise, after all of these family-owned farms have collapsed, they come in and then grab it all up. Like, now you've got the consolidation of ownership over everything, because like at its core, the United States is like capitalist oligarchy. Okay, and this is like late stage. We're kind of doing the big like collapse it. This was like robber baron shit.
Baron.
Yeah, robber baron shit, where it's like, I'm just going to tank your market. I'm going to tank your company by underselling. Like, this is what is, I think, Rockefeller used to do this. He would go into a jurisdiction where there's oil, and at a loss, at a personal loss to himself, he would have to pay for this. At a personal loss to himself, he would sell his oil way fucking cheaper than the people that were there until he put that family's well out of business. And then when they're struggling to eat, he'd roll in and be like, I'll buy it. And then he would just buy their shit and then immediately jack the price up and make all of it back within a year. Like, so what you do is, if you're paying for politicians, if you are actively basically hiring these guys, because I'm going to blast money, fire hose of money into the ads. Let's say we're Elon Musk putting $246 million into an election campaign. Hey, dog, I'll pay for your campaign so you can get the fancy suit and you can make all the rules. However, what I want you to do is I want you to completely disrupt and destroy U.S. agriculture so that I can swoop in and buy a huge chunk of it. Now, you can do that to agriculture. Think about the fucking housing market right now. You've got like these fucking corporate bastards buying up home after home after home, and I can't fucking buy a house. Like, even our fucking burnout parents, with some help from their parents, bought a fucking house at some point in their lives. That ain't shit for you and me. That ain't gonna fucking... I mean, my parents ain't gonna give me money to buy a house. I don't see that happening. But, like, right? Like, and it wasn't that weird to go to school and work a couple nights a week and then buy a house at the same time right after World War II. So what happened?
If you were white.
If you were white. Or, yeah.
Just major caveat.
Yeah.
You know, because
and it's possible for all of us, everyone, unwhite, white, whatever, without even anybody, it should be possible for all of us to have at least livable conditions. That is the core of my argument and my belief, is that with the amount of assets and resources available on this continent, right, whether it be in terms of money or land or whatever, it should be possible for all of us to not starve and not be cold, too hot, and have clothes, get an education, and probably see a doctor.
And receive health care. And,
even see a doctor if it's just once a year.
No
for
kidding.
Free. I would be so fucking jazzed if I could just go in and be like, hey, yeah, I've had this fucking rash that nobody else has. It's just me. It's bumps. It looks like I've got 1,000 mosquitoes. I've been so fucking furiously itchy. I went to go see a professional, and it was like over $200. And then I had to buy all the medicine. It's stupid.
Yeah.
And you had that fucking ear
dude,
thing.
And
how expensive was that? Are you on Access?
Yeah, I was on Access.
Good.
So, although that's going to be getting shut off here soon. Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah, that's fucking... Yeah, okay, yeah. Everybody's health insurance is going to be going up at the beginning of next year, which is, again,
regardless,
for anybody that does not know why the government is shut down right now. The Republicans are trying to take away health care from a whole shit ton of people, and the Democrats are like, can we not?
Yeah, so, I don't know that enough people understand this. I don't know that enough people understand. And this is fucked up because a lot of this pain is going to be that a lot of people did not sign up for. Like, I think is the only, like, I wish Congress didn't take a fucking, but then they would never do it, I guess. Like, I think that's what's irritating me. How do we, like, we all rely on this government too much. It doesn't give a fuck about us. Like, It sucks, dude. And
So I mean, that's what I
then
keep
it's
saying about
taxing us to not
local
pay for
communities.
our shit. It's taxing us to cut off the things we pay for ourselves. Like,
Yeah. I mean, like, well, first of all, I have to point out that this is the result of conservative policy
you pointed
for the
this
last
out.
40 years.
There's
Like,
a whole one of these. We already
yeah.
did. I
Well,
know.
just like, I mean, what has there been any non-conservative policy like actually passed and used in the last 40 years outside of environmental regulations?
If so,
Like,
I can't think about it. Like,
yeah, I can't think of one. Immigration's only just kind of gotten tougher. Fucking, rich people have gotten wealthier. The safety nets haven't been expanded. There was a hot 2-3 years there where we were really considering building a wall between here and Mexico. Like, just saying. I don't.
Dumbest, like a wall. Like,
right. I mean, like, the vast majority of illegal immigrants get here via planes.
A lot of, and like most of the drugs come in through legal points of entry.
Yeah.
That's the other.
Yeah.
That alone is like.
It's all bluster and showmanship. The man was literally a fucking reality TV host. That was his most successful job. If you think about that, isn't that kind of sad? That was actually his...
Pretending to be a businessman was the best business decision he ever made. Well, pretending to be a politician and conning the shit out of everybody has worked out pretty well. To be fair, rigging the U.S. federal government and taking bribes, like live on television. You got a Tesla, right?
No kidding.
Like, he literally took a bribe live on television. Turned the fucking White House into a car showroom.
Yeah, I mean, he received fucking that whatever the fuck is now going to be Air Force One, that gigantic... Exactly. Dude, like, that thing is such a liability.
Check this shit out.
Such a liability.
It's just, even if they fix it up right, they have not been able to sell that plane. The Saudis have been trying to get rid of that plane. That's like a white elephant or not, what is it, white elephant? Yes, a white elephant gift. Yeah.
Some such. I know what you mean.
It's a toxic gift that you can't take care of that is not actually a gift, it's a curse. That's what that is. It's and it's gold, so your dumbass is going to buy it. Okay, let's do a hard turn here because Pam Bondi interview here. This is the new one today, I think. 18 hours ago, 11 hours ago, Pam Bondi faces tough questions at Senate hearing.
Oh my god! And she's just like, I'm not going to discuss that with you, or some shit.
Fucking teeth. Like,
she got asked a specific question, and she was just like, "No, we're not talking about that."
Yeah, and then I think, was it Schiff? Like, then went out and listed. Let's see.
I heard about that. I've not watched the video, but I've heard him just like list all of the questions she refused to answer. The shift list. You made it on my shift list.
Damn, I am.
Whoa,
okay.
man.
Oh, dude. Oh, democracy's
Has
cooked.
letter E always been on the top row?
Okay. I think it's valuable that the American people get a sense of what you've refused to answer today, Schiff told Bondi. The following questions are those that Schiff noted when went unanswered or met with personal attacks by the Attorney General. Did Pam... this is dumb. Why am I not watching a video? I'm going to sit here and then recite the video to you. Then you're going to know it better than if I had just...
Oh, yeah, just fucking drop your link into the general so I can just take a peek at it.
Trying to get into the general.
Yeah, not knowing how to do this whole Twitch streaming thing is not great, because neither of us know how to do it, so... Hello to anybody. Hello to YouTube later down the way, but...
Well, I mean, I'm on... Oh. I mean, have you been looking? Do we have any... You can't see the viewer count, can you?
Yeah, I can. There's been... Every time I've checked, there's been 0. So I figure there's probably...
Probably 0.
That's probably a continuous 0.
Let's see. Don't call me a liar. Let's watch Forbes.
White House.
Yeah, just pop it in.
Thank you, Chairman. Ms. Bondi, good morning.
Good morning.
What became
Good morning.
of the $50,000 in cash
Okay, let's see here. Let's take a
that
look.
the FBI paid to Mr. Homan in a
I'm gonna get some
paper
coffee 'cause
bag,
I've seen the
evidently.
beginning of this. I'll be right back.
All good.
Senator, as Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche recently stated, the investigation of Mr. Homan was subjected to a full review by the FBI, agents, and DOJ prosecutors. They found no credible evidence of any wrongdoing.
And that was not my question. My question was, what became of the $50,000 in cash that the FBI delivered, evidently in a paper bag, to Mr. Homan?
Senator, I'd look at your facts.
Are you saying that they did not deliver $50,000 in cash to Mr. Homan?
Senator, as recently stated, the investigation of Mr. Homan was subjected to a full
That's a
review
different question.
by the FBI agents,
That's a
by
different
Department
question.
of Justice prosecutors. They found no
the amount of silence
evidence
that she had
of wrongdoing.
is pretty
That's
damning.
a different question. What became of the $50,000? Did the FBI get it back?
Mr. Whitehouse, excuse me, Senator Whitehouse, you're welcome to talk to the FBI.
Oh,
The
man.
report to you. Can't you answer this question?
Senator Whitehouse, you're welcome to discuss this with Director Patel.
Did Homan keep the $50,000?
As Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche recently stated, the investigation
Never
of
mind.
Mr.
Never
Homan
mind. I can
was
see I'm not going to get a straight
Flex.
answer from you.
Shh,
You were very
shh,
by
question.
the
Just
Fucking
like
bug-eyed
one after,
and the
one after
DOJ.
another.
They
You're welcome
found
to talk to
no
Patel about
credible
it.
evidence of wrongdoing.
Okay, so that's the
You know,
$50,000
you're
in the
very
bag.
concerned about money and people taking
Yeah,
money
right.
to
You
rail
know,
against
wait a
dark
second,
money.
wait a second, wait
Yeah,
a second.
you work with dark
Wait a
money
second.
groups all the time, Senator
Wait a
Whitehouse.
second. Did you know whether or not in that investigation they looked at whether the $50,000 payment to Mr. Homan was declared by him on his tax returns?
Senator, I would be more concerned if I were you when you talk about corruption and money that when you pushed for legislation that would subsidize your wife's company.
The questions
And
here
then-
are actually pretty specific. So having you respond with completely irrelevant far-right internet talking points really is not very helpful here. I'd like, Mr. Chairman, you generally like to have us be able to get answers.
Specific.
To know, and
Yeah.
we'll follow up with the QFR, and to the extent Patel wants to answer, that would be great as well. What happened to the $50,000?
Yeah, she
Did
just will
Homan
not.
keep it?
She just won't.
Did the FBI get it back? If
Yeah,
he kept
you
it,
know,
did he put it on his
I
tax
personally, I like to believe
Pretty
people who just
simple
don't
questions.
answer my questions.
Homan was
Yeah.
the same guy who...
I like that.
And
That's
then him
personal
going-
for me.
Eric
I'm all
Adams
for it.
said, if
Her
Adams
going after
doesn't
the
come
dark money,
through,
which,
I'll be
like-
back. I'll be in his office.
Yeah, that's
up
sure.
his
Yes,
butt,
like
saying, where
packs
the
and dark
hell
money. That's
is the agreement
But like,
we
where's the
came
50 grand,
to?
bro?
Which brings us to
Where's the 50 grand, bro?
No kidding.
OPR investigation of prosecutorial misconduct by
I wanted to
Emil
say some shit
Bovee,
about Epstein.
because he was also involved in that
Yeah, when does-
transaction.
That's what I'm waiting for
What
because it's supposedly in
became
this video.
of the OPR investigation of prosecutorial misconduct by Emil Bovee?
Yeah, and Senator Whitehouse, to correct you for one moment, that
Not
would
sure.
be the honor.
I thought you were pulling
An
up
employee
the
of
shifty
Department of Justice.
stuff.
And what became of the OPR?
Sure, let me
Okay,
take a look. I'm
here,
gonna skip farther.
Conduct.
Here.
Oh, what's the
I can't
timestamp?
discuss pending litigation
No,
or
no, no.
personnel matters.
Yeah, what's the time on the video to start it so I
I
can?
don't know. I'm
Customarily.
not.
Skip to
No,
it.
no, 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 no. I was gonna look for it too.
Publicly
You look
says
at it and you
when
drop
there's
it
an
in the chat.
investigation,
If
and
you
at
can,
the
I'm gonna
end
keep
of it,
watching this
they
one.
provide a summary.
You
Why
see if you
can't
can't
say
find
whether
shifts
there's
list.
an OPR investigation and whether, if it's concluded, there's a summary?
Senator, I'm not going to discuss personnel matters.
Even public ones.
Senator, I'm not going to discuss personnel matters.
So, Kash Patel told this committee that his grand jury testimony after immunization, after initially pleading the fifth, was, and I quote, sealed by the Department of Justice.
So okay. So after this,
How
then
and
they have these
when
hearings,
and why
and
was his
then
testimony sealed,
then what?
and by whom?
Then they all vote and decide what to do about it.
Senator, I'm not
Because she's
going
sitting
to
here and
discuss
just
any
literally not
testimony,
doing,
especially
she is
testimony
not
that could be sealed.
working with them at all in any
No, the question
capacity.
is, was it or
So
was it not
after
sealed?
these hearings, then
Senator,
this
I'm not
governing
going to
body then
discuss that with you.
decides what to do about it?
Well, he also said that he.
I mean,
worked
like,
with the
everything has to
Department of
be
Justice.
passed in, like, from what I understand, I'm pretty sure everything, God, I'm not 100% certain, so, take that with a grain of salt, but, like, these committees are going to make decisions based off of the information that they've been given. I don't know what the current makeup of, do you know which committee that is? Let's see here, the
This guy's name is Senate Judiciary Committee.
Senate Judiciary Committee. Okay, so I have no idea what the, who is specifically on there and how they're going to vote out and stuff like that. But yeah, like the committee, essentially, things have to pass committee, and once it passes committee, it goes to either the Senate or the House, just depending on which committee it's in, and like all that. Each of them have their own committees. Sometimes there are committees that are joint, where you'll have both senators and House members in them, I believe. We did. Okay, it's been a long time since I've taken my basic civics on those. I should reread those a little bit.
I'm realizing how, like, the depth of my ignorance.
There's-
I'm realizing the depth of my ignorance as far as how government works, which I think, yeah, we had talked was kind of the point. That's how we got here.
Mhm.
What's crazy, though, is to hark back to the internet. So right now, 60 years ago? When television, 60s, 50s? Late 40s?
When was television created?
Yeah. When
it was earlier than that.
Okay, when was a broad swath of the electorate able to see what was going on in Congress?
I'm pretty sure it was about the late 50s. Let me take a look here. When?
Because if you can think, like, this is the craziest thing. Because right now, we all have the most ability to engage in civics ever, at any point. We can literally, because all of this shit is on the internet. Any of it. And it's all cataloged. I could probably pull up any, like, Senate hearing that was interesting from the last 20 years. Easy. Like, so...
Yeah, I mean, like, it's all on C-SPAN. We can find it all.
How do you get...
Sure.
Oh my God, bro, do you want to start a crypto?
A crypto? Not particularly, no.
I was thinking, how do I incentivize people to watch videos about Congress?
Oh God, that's a tough one.
How do I get people to say, like, okay, well, I engaged in civics. How do you basically bribe people to stay informed? Is kind of my question. Like, how do you bribe people to make calls? Oh my goodness.
You don't want to bribe people. That's not a good. Like, I mean, bribery is a crime.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Incentivize. Like,
yeah,
I'm trying to think of how to verify one correspondence to your congressman.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like, speak your mind on
this. I mean, we
get
people to realize that politics are important.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
good luck with that, bro.
I don't know how else to do it. At least not yet.
Taylor Swift just came out with a new album, and there's a movie about it, and you know what I mean. There's so much shit to cut through all the time. Get people in.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So the history of television, by the way, goes back into fucking the 1800s. I actually did not know it went quite that far back.
What?
Like, it was like actually it was first debuted. Let's see here, at least according to YouTube, not YouTube, excuse me, Wikipedia here. They were able to at the World's Fair in Paris, August 24th, 1990, which means it would have probably been invented a bit before then, I imagine.
1990.
1900. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. The year 1900.
Like 1900 is as far back as it goes, but it was not widely adopted until later on. At the very least, we could say the 50s is a safe bet. I would say probably the 40s, though, like is when a lot of it started.
Okay, like a lot of the. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
now, granted, there was only like 3 fucking channels for most of that point in time.
That's what I'm saying. So now, anybody can watch any part of any government thing happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so if more people cared to do that, there's more opportunity for engagement in civics and like engagement in government than ever. So I feel like there's a huge opportunity there.
Like we can, provided it's not, quashed by algorithms and censorship and shit like that, free. We have to, as long as, I don't know, like.
As long as it remains free, as long as the internet remains free, if an authoritarian, like the red firewall or whatever. You like if we divulge into like China's internet, or what I understand, I guess I should say, what China and
Mm.
Russia's internet is like, heavily censored and monitored, like under spy network constantly. Like I imagine a lot of what we're doing already is like tracked and whatever.
Mm.
But like to the point where it's weaponized in a way that is terrifying. Like if somebody fucking kicks the door down because I'm exercising my free speech right here with you, like that kind of shit is terrifying to me. That yeah, I don't know. Anywhere the internet shouldn't be like that.
No, it really shouldn't. It should not be like that at all. It's fucking horrifying. And again, that's why it's very important to fight against these things, right? There are lots of crackdowns that are going to continue happening. I mean, you quoted some media earlier, so I'll give you some dark night here. The night is always darkest before the dawn, right? Shit's going to get worse before it gets better, because it's going to take a lot more for things to get people to wake up and realize that not only are they under threat, but everything else is, and because everything else is, they're under dual threat. There's an additional threat that they need to realize and deal with. And I think that's going to take a lot of unity.
I feel like
we're going to have to build up, kind of we have to get people to realize that it's not left versus right. It's not red versus blue. It's the top versus the bottom. Right? It's because, I mean, people in rural America, they live their lives by very left-wing policies every day, personally, in their own individual lives. I mean, they are willing to share shit with their neighbors. They're willing to try and call up and help each other, right? There's plenty of things that your fucking house gets taken down in a tornado, you will have 25 of your neighbors come from 35 miles apiece to come help you rebuild your fucking house. These types of things do fucking happen out there in rural America. There are strong communities that are built like that. And that's how left-wing policy is. That it's literally just wanting to try to bring people together.
Widening the... I feel like that's maybe that's part of the crux. And I kind of am wondering if, while you're talking about that, if that's why... I mean, I think... I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Something important people need to know is that, Abraham Lincoln got fan mail from Karl Marx.
No,
Hold on.
Fucking Pixar, it didn't happen. Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I see what you mean. So, I think part of the opposition... Go ahead.
Okay, so I won't read the whole thing here, but, sir, we congratulate the American people upon your re-election by a large majority. If resistance to the slave power was reserved watchword of your first election, the triumphant war cry of your re-election is death to slavery. From the commencement of the titanic American strife of the working men of Europe felt instinctively that the Star-Spangled Banner carried the destiny of their class. The contest of their territories, which opened the dire epopee, I'm not certain how to pronounce that word, was it not to decide whether the virgin soil of immense tracts should be wedded to the labor of the immigrant or prostituted by the tramp of the slave driver. Like, seriously. Abraham Lincoln got fan mail from Karl Marx.
Damn.
Yeah, signed on behalf of the International Working Men's Association, the Central Council, and there are a whole bunch of names on there, and Marx is one of them.
Wow. Goddamn.
Yeah.
It's a good Marxist Republican president.
Yeah. Seriously. There's so much of this, the shit that is just...
That's wild.
A great history that doesn't... okay, also just to inject a little bit of levity here, it wouldn't have ever happened, but technically it was feasible that Abraham Lincoln could have faxed a samurai. The fax machine is old. The fax machine predates Abraham Lincoln's presidency and was around during feudal Japan, because feudal Japan was happening during Abraham Lincoln's presidency.
The fax machine?
The fax machine. No, technically, we figured out how to fax...
Over what infrastructure?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It wouldn't have ever actually technically happened, but it was theoretically possible that Abraham Lincoln could have...
Okay, you know what's fucking crazy is that it's theoretically possible that the Romans had an industrial revolution. So an artist had figured out the steam engine, essentially. Like, but the only application they ever found was to make it was like an art installation. So like he would focus the sun onto a cauldron, and then it would heat up the water inside of the fountain, and then it would make the steam would make a bunch of shit move, and it was like the gale of whatever the wind god or whatever was it. And so he had figured out basically the pressured steam engine. They also they also had rails going everywhere for their mining operations. So and they had used coal. Like they had figured out they had figured coal out somewhere else, but it's all so spread out across the empire that these things happened that they hadn't put it together. Otherwise, they were like this fucking close to doing an 1800s. You know what I mean? 2,000, 3,000 years ago. It's nuts. It's crazy. I mean,
okay,
like,
so, man, I don't know if this is actually legit or not, but I have heard that there was a dude that like way back in the fucking day figured out essentially how to make a steam engine turbine and just used it to cook his kebabs.
Gangster.
Like seriously, like it was a dude that God, let me see if I can't find. Hold on, I'm looking through this here. Let me see.
Magical kebaberator.
Here's at least the first thing here. I've dropped it into the general for you, so you can at least go take a look at it with me.
Did a Turkish man invent a steam engine 200 years before the Industrial Revolution?
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. I've heard this passed around online, and even if it isn't true, it's just really funny to think that it is. Just like, God, that'd be so great to have known that. Like, it is really fun to think that, like, the steam engine was possible, right? It's always been possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obviously like, yeah,
yeah, and just like as soon as we made it, it was just like, oh, duh, and then we carried with it until we found something better, and it was just like, oh, this was an option all along. Let's go with that, right? And so that's part of why I am just like generally kind of an optimist, because like we have no idea what we haven't learned yet. Right? For the extreme vast amount of human history, I've brought this up many times, but it was impossible to fly until we figured out several different ways to do it. And we still haven't figured them all out. Right? I'm willing to bet that. I bet we could still find more different ways to be able to figure out how to fly. It's going to be really fucking hard because we have a lot of humans to think about it so far, but we still find out new shit. We're discovering new species every fucking day. Right? So that's kind of why I'm a bit of an optimist. We don't know what we don't know. All we know is that we know enough to know that we don't know everything. So that's kind of why I'm an optimist. Humans typically seem to bend towards being good people. Like, because I truly believe that people will always come to some sort of morality, provided they A, use logic, and B, have not been given false information. Provided those two things are true, then you will always lead to being a moral person.
I don't know. Everybody will do it because they can. Everybody thinks they're doing the right thing.
I can agree with that, but that doesn't mean that everybody is.
Yeah, so I'm saying that like objective like morality, that's kind of like, that's a hard thing to say. Everybody comes to a certain, they think they're moral. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, under that, I agree with you. Like, everybody thinks.
Well, that's because, I think at the end of the day, the reason why I think that's the case is because, to quote Andrew Ryan, all that matters to me is me, and all that matters to you is you. But if you use logic, and you don't have your information poisoned, you know that the survival of the group increases your chances. Individually, it is best to work for the group. Therefore, using logic, you will always come to the natural conclusion of help other people.
Well, see, this is where you got to look at what's the group. Because while I agree with you, so when you were talking about like conservative swaths of the United States using liberal activity, whatever, you know what I mean, like communal activity, it's just a perception of what the group is. So like this is one of the concepts of stoicism is like take your family, right, and then just make it bigger. Like, and that's where we run into this, because we all obviously think that way. All of us are literally we're fucking communal apes, dude.
And so what I have to I'm sorry, go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Well, my response to that is they've been fed misinformation. The second thing that needs to happen
didn't happen there. They are
I
given
think that
misinformation, and they don't
more
believe that other people are useful or are good or are lesser in some reason. That is patently false. But they believe that, therefore, they're not using logic properly because they've fed misinformation through their train of logic. They've not done both things required to come to morality.
I think this argument in terms of like we're talking about immigration and we're talking about healthcare and we're talking about like
Mm-hmm.
if we're talking about this politically legislation and it, I don't know, that's a hard one because it just depends. I think that yes, obviously it's more moral to make sure that everybody has healthcare and education because it I I don't care what fucking color or what country the person that discovers it was in. If they're here, I want them to fucking go to school and learn how to cure cancer. And like
That'd be great.
casting a bigger net for that benefits literally everybody. I want, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like I don't give a
Yeah,
shit.
I don't care if the Chinese
Fucking
figure out how to cure cancer. It's
cool.
great that we figured out how to cure cancer.
Open
Let's
source
all
it.
share that information.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Open source it. Exactly. Exactly.
Well, yeah, and
so
then
that's
teach
what I mean.
teach
You know,
everybody.
like
That's the yeah. So the
that's
problem
the enlightened
is that
position, in my opinion.
that comes from the fear of that. I think what's done with that is stoking the fear of limited resources, creating an imagined no, we can't use those resources for that because that's a bad investment. Like the USAID thing, like that is like a prime example of that. When that maybe right, if we were starving, if that was a huge chunk of our money, let's just say we were sending money to a country and they were doing something stupid like using it to wage a war and they had health care. Let's just say we're doing that with Israel right now because we are.
This completely oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Country
This is a hypothetical that
does
actually is a literal. We're doing that. So
yeah.
Anyway,
it doesn't rhyme with schmizreal.
You see where I brought it back. Okay, so yeah. So, but none of that same logic of like if it was a resource issue, then I would agree with you, and if it's how it's allocated, I would agree with you. But the facts of the matter is, if we prevent infectious disease in the rest of the world, that would help us not get infectious diseases here in our part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we didn't have food and we were spending the money on that, I would say, okay, sorry, like this is not a priority. But that is not the case. The case is that more government subsidies are going directly to Elon Musk, who ended all of that aid and killed all of the oversight in his own companies within the federal government. That was literally what he was there to do. That is what he paid Donald Trump to let him do, is end all investigations into his fuckery and continue to get corporate subsidies. $38 billion. $38 billion in government subsidies and grants and contracts that Elon Musk has from us, from the U.S. taxpayer. Beyond that, $20 billion going to Israel for weapons of war. Okay?
Billions going to Argentina to bail out that shit.
Another $20 billion to Argentina. Okay?
Yep.
So
billions going to the billionaires who are just suckling up all of this shit.
A giant tax cut extended from the last time this cunt was in office. And what? And then now we have to pay tariffs? Like, okay, let's look this up. How much will the average household pay in tariffs this year? Because it's a fucking tax, bro. And where is it going?
Yeah.
If the government shut down and they're going to cut Medicaid and they're going to cut fucking food stamps and they're going to cut, if they're just going to kill the fucking Department of Education so my son won't get a fucking
they're already
education
floating, pushing back.
Of course they are.
Retirement as well.
Yeah. They're going to make us work longer. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's nobody stopping Elon Musk from having $500 billion, $500 billion worth of assets. Okay. Bro, you could give everybody everybody in the United States could have $1,000 from Elon Musk, and he would still have $1 billion.
Hold on, I actually don't know if that math checks out.
Try it.
I'm pretty sure that won't, but let me try it here. He just broke 500 billion, correct?
$1 billion is 1,000 million.
Yes.
Okay, he
So
has
hold on here. So
500
100 billion,
billion,
300, and there's what, 350 million of us
something
here?
like that. Yeah, it's
And
like
oh wait, no,
1100.
I did that wrong. So 500. There's 500 billions here, hundred thousands, millions, billions. Okay, good. I fucked it up the first time. Just had to double check there. Divided by 350 million of us. Oh, okay, shit. I was wrong by a significant portion.
Yeah, it's more than
It would
1,000.
be a one-time payment
Right.
of $1,428.57
From one guy, though.
from one guy.
One guy.
I mean, yeah,
And
that would literally take care of
okay.
rent for 1/12 of the year. For the entire country, pretty much. Well, okay, not quite the entire country. Nobody's.
Okay.
There's a lot of people who don't get to pay that little in rent. I'll be totally honest. That's a pretty fucking low rent.
Run this
looking
one.
at
Okay,
the whole
so
nation.
350 million. 3, 2, 3. Okay, times times 1,000. It's 350 billion. Okay, he would still have, even if you just round it evenly to 1,000. Okay, if he paid everyone in the United States $1,000, including infants and children, right? That 350 is infants and children, not families. That is individuals living here. Okay, if he paid every single person $1,000, he would still have $150 billion. So I don't think that taxing this piece of shit a little bit more is gonna prevent him from flourishing. Okay, he's fine. At that point, if he died with his 14 kids, he could give each one of them $10 billion. and
still,
they would be perfectly fine.
Everybody $1,000
forever. Even if they lived 1,000 years, they could not spend that much money living the way that you and I do. Like, which is better than most humans have ever lived the way that you and I do. So why does you need that? Why do you need that much fucking money? And why do we need to keep giving it to him? That's the part that pisses me off. Fine, whatever. But I can't voluntarily stop giving money to the government that is giving money to him. Like, I didn't ask for that cunt to take all my tax money. $38 billion to this guy. And we won't tax him.
Yeah. I mean,
we can't eat.
I mean, in my opinion, it's okay. So, I think there are also two things exactly that make a cult. Now, granted, other actual professionals on this would disagree with me and say there's about 10 instead, but I think that it can, having gone through a cult myself, I feel like it can really actually just be broken down into two things. Cults are systems of abuse that are then either justified or ignored. The reason why is because America's a cult. That's the answer to a lot of the questions. Is a lot of us are cults, and this is a giant cult, and all of us are members of a cult. But not all of us are cultists. There's a difference between cultists and being a member of a cult. So that's, being a cultist is like you're dyed in the wool. You're actually there for it. You believe you're in for it, no matter what. It doesn't matter how many times they show you the light. You will turn back in.
For future reference, we need to figure out what we've gone on rants about and not do it again.
That's true.
We have both screamed about taxing Elon Musk, and we've had the cult.
Well, okay, but hold on. Taxing screaming about that shit consistently is still important.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I think you've explained on film twice what capitalism and how you feel almost the exact same, which is fine. It's fine.
Fair. That's fair. That's totally fair.
We gotta smoke a little bit less weed and stay a little bit okay. Reel it back. Okay. It's estimated that President Donald Trump's tariffs will mean American families would have to pay about $4,000 more a year. Okay.
Hey, keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay. Heard. So no matter what they did with the tax, that is about what like a child tax credit would be, if I'm remembering correctly. But we just increased our taxes by that amount. We didn't increase taxes on this guy. And especially during a government shutdown, we're not going to be sending out food if this lasts more than a month. Without the federal government. Food stamps, Medicaid, which pays for important things like rehabilitation care, attendant care for people with disabilities. Like I get some like rehabilitation money from my son, and when that dries up, it's not like going to be a death sentence for me, but I know there are people that literally could not function without that. And this is even more alarming too, is because like this is the most vulnerable chunk of our population. Okay, so not just Medicare, but you're also or Medicaid. You're also looking at getting the Department of Education. One of the things that the Department of Education does is it makes sure that students with special needs are guaranteed an individual education plan, meaning that what is functional or what is agreed to do for the general population of students is not enough for this child. Okay, and there's story after story after story about children that the education system, because of getting the extra attention that they needed, rose to the occasion of and succeeded beyond the limitations of their disabilities to go on to then be, people with fulfilled lives and productive citizens in society. So this kind of harks back to what he and I were talking about. Like it's an investment in all of us, because when these members of our society can get the help they need, there's a lot of times a good chance that they can do great things, like, and have lives that have meaning. And I think it's an abortion of justice to think that like our tax money, instead of doing this, is going to pay for things like deploying the National Guard to go scare people, or like build another fucking prison in the middle of nowhere. I don't think that these are things that our tax money should be going to, especially when, like, education, for instance. Education is a huge one. If more people had access to education, they probably wouldn't turn to crime. If more people had access to paying jobs, they probably turn to crime. If people's communities had been better invested in, you see where I'm going with this? Like, we're chasing the symptoms, not the actual diseases in a lot of these cases. A lot of the diseases are just like poor civics, really. Like, yeah. Anyway, welcome back.
Okay, hey, actually, I have some stuff I gotta actually go take care of here. So unfortunately, gotta cancel out of the stream here. So
Immediately bounce on. Okay.
yeah, I gotta bounce on. Yeah,
Well, that's
thank
fine.
you for having me on though this morning, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, fucking
We'll
goodbye
see
to
you
everybody.
next
Take care.
Wednesday. Later, man.
Yes, we'll see you next Wednesday.
Good luck.
Toodle.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, well, thanks for joining. If you watched for even a second, I'm happy to have you. I suppose I gotta do check me out on YouTube at Trash Druid. I want to do some other posty stuff. I don't know. I was thinking about trying to garden and show everybody my crazy desert druid shit. But yeah, thanks guys. I hope if you enjoyed it, let me know, or thought it was dog shit, let me know, or whatever. Just, it's all about engagement. All right, thanks.